In an upstate New York town, an all too familiar scene.
Watch out, buddy. I'm gonna go for it. Give her an injection of Narcan, okay?
Like the woman in this video, Herb is overdosed multiple times.
What happened when Herb overdosed?
So I walked over here and he was just like turning purple. I kind of freaked out.
They just pushed half of it in one nostril. Yep.
I did CPR and there was Narcan, but I didn't know how to use it.
Let me know if you want me to give a second dose. Drag her in there that way. Yeah.
They gave you Narcan and then you just woke up really angry.
You first pass through this town and in a lot of ways it looks like Mayberry, but there's not a public bathroom in town that hasn't had needles in it. Alleyways, every alley in the city. There's people injecting in classrooms at Cornell University and in boardrooms. You know, we've got people using everywhere, except where it's actually safe to use.
Did you take anything, man?
America is in the grip of a heroin crisis.
The out-of-control heroin epidemic facing our country is worsening.
Law enforcement officials say heroin is now causing more deaths than car crashes or violent crimes.
We're going to the 1100 block of Hector Street for an unresponsive person. There's not any other details on the CAD right at the moment.
In the summer of 2016, the small city of Ithaca, New York, was losing about one person a week to heroin. Local paramedic Dan Leonard has seen addiction rates soar.
What kinds of people do you see using?
It's all walks of life. One day it might be a homeless person, the next day it might be an Ivy League college student.
In a trend sweeping the country, users here are increasingly white and middle class. But what's different in Ithaca is the mayor's controversial solution.
This is the nightmare scenario. We must do better, and to do better, we must do something different.
Mayor Savante Myrick favors harm reduction over punishment, and he thinks this approach could be a model for the rest of the country. At the center of his plan is a facility where users could inject heroin under medical supervision to prevent overdoses. There are nearly 100 centers like this around the world. The closest is this one in Vancouver, Canada, but none yet in the US. Some say the approach saves lives.
There's been over 2 million injections in this site since it opened, and not one death.
And others that it's dangerous and enables harmful drug use.
To have a supervised heroin injection clinic, I absolutely cannot support. I think it's a preposterous idea.
This is the nicest place I've ever lived in my whole life.
Herb has been using heroin for 10 years. He's been jailed over a dozen times. Going public with his addiction has come at a price. His girlfriend Janice, who doesn't use heroin, recently lost her job, and they're about to lose their home.
Now, I do something different. I don't use tourniquet. When I do it, I use my legs. As easy as that.
It's a ritual he repeats 3 or 4 times a day. His daily habit costs him about $40. Like 4 to 5 heroin addicts, Herb started out misusing prescription opiates. He got the pills from friends.
I started using Oxycontin and things like that real heavily around 16, and around 17, 18, I started IVing heroin.
What were you using the Oxycontin for?
I have traumas and stuff from childhood. I was sexually abused as a child.
Herb tells me that when prescription opiates began drying up, heroin was suddenly everywhere.
As I was getting more and more into pills, heroin started to pop up more and more, and it also started to get cheaper and cheaper and cheaper.
So do you want to get clean?
I gotta get clean. What makes me think about getting clean is my potential in life.
After his recent overdose, Herb only injects at home under Janice's watchful eye. They're vocal advocates of harm reduction, keeping users safe until they're ready to get clean. Mayor Myrick's drug plan includes increasing access to treatments like methadone, building a 24-hour crisis center, and a detox facility. But the supervised injection site is getting the most attention. It's currently illegal under state and federal law, but Myrick is lobbying to change that.
The mayor unveiled his plan months ago, but this is the first time he's unveiling it to the county legislature. He'll need their support to get things off the ground, but trying to create the first supervised injection facility in the country in a small town is going to be a tough task.
Public health and safety approach to drugs and drug policy.
I think the most compelling reason why you would want a supervised injection facility is that people who use it are 30% more likely to enter treatment than people who do not use supervised injection.
I had a constituent ask whether this would essentially be a magnet, and that this would be the only one for very long. Would people be drawn to Ithaca for this? And where would people obtain the drugs?
The same place they do now. So people get their drugs on the street. This is a big mental hurdle for people. They'll say, well, if we open a facility, then people are going to be using drugs in our city. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to burst anyone's bubble, but we have a lot of people using drugs in our community.
Thank you.
Herb is an outspoken supporter of the mayor's plan. He says a supervised injection facility could have saved the lives of friends who overdosed.
I've lost enough friends to incredibly preventable, incredibly preventable deaths, and and I'm kind of tired of it. This is something that I think should have been considered in many places a long time ago.
In his attempt to create a safe space for heroin addicts to use, Myrick has attracted attention from around the world.
We've heard from people just down the block and heard from people as far away as Tokyo. And, you know, some people think I'm brilliant and some people think I'm insane. This one just read about your plan. You are an idiot. This is another way that liberals, parentheses Democrats, are ruining cities in the United States. You, parentheses mayor, it's good use of parentheses, should arrest the users, not endorse their behavior.
Myrick's determination to not arrest his way out of the city's drug problem comes from personal experience. He's the son of a crack addict.
Having a father who was an addict, what did you learn about addiction and how the system treats that?
The war on drugs did not save him, didn't save our family, you know. So for my entire adult life, I've now been in charge of a system that was prosecuting a war on drugs that I knew did not work. We don't have time to waste here. We're losing too many people to keep trying the old failed methods.
Part of your plan calls for establishing a place where people can legally inject drugs.
The idea here is that if we're not going to arrest people, how are we going to convince them to come indoors? We found in Vancouver, Canada, that supervised injection facilities, first, saved lives, fewer people died. Second, fewer people got diseases. And third, more people entered treatment. The way to truly give peace of mind and to save the most possible lives is to legalize this in every community in the country and allow this to become part of a treatment ecosystem.
So you buried him just last month?
Yes, actually a month ago today.
A month ago today?
A month ago today. Yeah.
How old is he when he started using?
24.
And he died at 25?
Yes.
So he was only using for 1 year?
Yes, for 1 year.
The mayor's plan didn't come in time for Lynette Knox's son, Antoine. Antoine overdosed and died on Mother's Day. Lynette thinks the supervised injection facility might have kept him alive.
You know, I wish they would have had that with Antoine. If they can be in a facility that would help them, you know, be safe if they overdose or whatever, I'm for it.
After Antoine's death, his family and friends held a vigil in his honor. Many lamented the lack of treatment options in the community.
When you tried to get him treatment, what was your experience like?
When he did it on his own and we tried to do it, we couldn't get him help.
So he willingly wanted to get help, but there just wasn't enough help there for him?
Yes, in Ithaca there wasn't enough help there. He was crying out for help and he couldn't get the help. We tried every day to get him into treatment and we never succeeded getting him in. So I really believe out here, that's the only way you can get help is if you're in trouble with the law.
The only way to get help for addiction is to commit a crime.
Yeah, I really believe that.
Across town, Jennifer Hallam is waiting for her 22-year-old son, a heroin addict, to be released from prison. Unlike Lynette, she doesn't welcome a supervised injection site. She fears her son would go right back to using again if there was one here.
It pisses me off. It really does. Because I know that would be the first place my son would be hanging out. It's just, I think it'll just be out of control.
The argument that proponents make for it is that it will give addicts a safe place since they'll be using it anyway, no matter what.
If there wasn't so many drugs on the streets, they wouldn't be doing it. I just want to see the government get this shit off the street. Figure out where it's coming from and start nailing them. Don't promote it.
Bill Russin runs a local addiction treatment facility. He thinks the mayor is pushing an elaborate plan at the expense of more traditional methods that already work.
There's no such thing as safe injection of heroin. Safe injection site, supervised injection site, been only done in one place in the North American continent. It's an experiment.
Do you think it's possible that supervised injection could enable drug use?
As far as I'm concerned, a lot of those questions haven't been answered. I would just rather turn my time, my energy, and my resources at established interventions that'll make a difference starting tomorrow. We need detox. That's what we don't have in this community.
On the surface, this neighborhood looks very different than Ithaca, but the two communities face the same problem.
The Ithaca plan is partially modeled on this facility right here, Insight, the first legally approved safe injection clinic in North America. It's located right in the heart of Vancouver's downtown east side, a neighborhood with high rates of poverty, mental illness, and drug abuse.
Insight is the busiest safe injection site in the world. More than 600 injections a day take place here. No one has ever died. Brian, a former addict, now works at Insight.
I'm a peer worker. I work with my peers who are still addicts. My main job is to make sure people are alive. Upstairs above here, we have a detox center. So people are actually trying to get clean.
Insight says its message is simple. Treat people like their lives are worth saving, and they'll want to improve them. Leanne has been coming here for years.
Oh, this place has saved my life twice. I'm thinking about, for the first time, slowly weaning myself off of heroin.
As Myrick pushes his plan forward, he has people like Leanne, Herb, and his father in mind.
How are you doing?
Good, dude. Good to see you.
And while Myrick faces an uphill battle, he's sticking to what he calls his end goals. A system that treats addicts as human beings, and a city where nobody dies from drug use. As America deals with its heroin epidemic, other countries face much worse drug problems. AJ Plus has been following the impact of drugs around the world, from the drug war in the Philippines to prescription drugs in India. Check out the film above, as well as the rest of our series.